women in Spain, their voices are so...
They're all raspy, yeah. Love that.
Because they're big on cigarettes, I think. They are.
No, it's just their accent.
Hello.
Hola.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Lord Far Squad pod, and welcome to the group chat. I'm Mandy.
I'm Miguel.
And I'm Barbie.
And today, I brought my girlfriend.
Mystery reveal.
Hard launch.
We have heard her so much about this on this podcast. We've never seen her.
Yeah.
That's
Hi, I'm Mandy's girlfriend, also known as Ellie.
Also,
Is Ellie
secondary.
Is Ellie short for something?
No.
Oh, wow.
And
Ellie Elizabeth.
my middle name's Elizabeth, and I hate that because I feel like I know so many Elizabeths, and their nickname is Ellie. I'm like, why would my parents do that to me?
Ellie
But
Elizabeth.
Double whammy.
yeah.
Ellie squared.
Ellie squared. Literally. So,
Cute.
Ellie squared.
yeah.
Cute. Yeah, well, here she is, live and in person. She just moved here.
Just moved here.
Welcome to California.
I know.
Thank you.
What do you think so far?
I love it. I hate cold weather, and it was starting to get so cold where I was living.
Okay, so tell the people where you're from.
I'm from Spokane, Washington.
Hell yeah, brother.
The ghetto.
Is it really
Scary.
as ghetto as they
Yeah,
talk
brother.
about?
Yeah, like I feel like because I grew up going to like private Adventist schools and stuff, like I was really sheltered from it for a long time. And then when I was 15, I got my first job as a lifeguard at one of the city pools, and they stuck me in one of the scariest areas. Like we had to call the police so many times
my
for like
God.
gun incidents and fighting.
At the community pool.
At the community pool. Can you believe that? And it's like,
Oh my God.
I remember one time, like, someone came in from taking out the trash. They're like, Ellie, you can't go out there. And I was like, why? And
my
they're like,
God.
there's a dead body in the parking
What
lot right
the
now. And I was like, I was 15 years old. Like, what do you mean?
Can you imagine you like just getting a summer job and like a body in the parking lot?
That's
No, it was
so
like we couldn't
terrifying.
walk barefoot because there was needles
my
everywhere.
God.
I'm sorry. You couldn't walk barefoot at the pool?
No.
That's crazy.
And, like,
Tennis shoes only.
Tennis shoes
Swim with the
only.
shoes on.
And I couldn't drive yet. I didn't have my driver's license. And if someone like throws up in the pool, you just close it down early. And there were times where we'd close down early and my mom wouldn't be there to pick me up yet. And someone would have to sit with me and wait because it was too dangerous for me to like stay and wait for her on my own.
And Ubers like weren't a thing.
No, I took the bus once, carried my mace like this, like in
my
my hand the
God.
whole way. I was like shaking.
What? Are there like statistics about like Spokane?
Yes.
Yeah.
When she was moving here, she was talking to her roommate, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to move there. Like, it's not safe." They were talking about Miguel City.
Yeah.
My city?
Yeah,
My
and I was
city?
like, that's why I was like, I don't think you guys know what's happening. I was like, no, this is fine. I was like, and then I look up her city, one of the most dangerous cities in the
It's like actually more dangerous than any neighborhood in
LA.
the LA
Whoa.
area.
Which is so like weird because it's only 2 hours north of where we went to college.
Yeah, like-
and that was a super cute town. Walla
No,
Walla.
Walla Walla was fine. Spokane.
And then 2 hours north, everybody's like crazy as fuck.
No, it's terrifying there.
Wow.
So scary, but I
I've always
survived.
heard the rumors, but like I never.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Wow.
some nice areas, which is like why when I was growing up, people would be like, "Oh, Spokane," I'd be like, "Guys, what are you talking about?" Like, it's nice because I was only in those areas. But then like you go downtown and start seeing some of the other areas, and it's just scary.
Is it like a populous city? Like, are there a bunch of people there?
Yeah, like for the area, definitely, it's like the biggest in the
downtown
area.
isn't like really like downtown.
No,
It's not
no,
poppin'.
no, not really.
There's like
really
maybe
downtown.
one apothecary.
maybe one.
What does that mean?
Apothecary? It was a pharmacy. You really don't know what an apothecary is?
No, I do, but
Do you not read like old English literature?
I know what an apothecary is, but I thought like you meant like a modern. Like I thought you were gonna say. I thought it was something that
Like
I just,
a CVS?
Yeah. No, I just thought you meant like it was something like maybe it was like a trendy new store in LA.
No, I actually,
The apothecary.
actually
Yeah.
that's a sick name for like,
like a
yeah, so
bar?
you're like, oh, there's only one
Apothecary?
Macy's, there's only one
I'd go
apothecary,
there.
there's only one anthropology. You know,
No,
that's what it was.
I just learned like what apothecary meant like a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Didn't know in
And
the
now
pharmacy.
now you're using it.
And I'm here.
Add it to your
he's
vocab.
Just want to show it off. Tell me what's the big difference between, and I'm sure there's so many, but you've only been here for like a month maybe?
2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
About. Not even a month.
A fortnight.
Yeah, you could say.
I also
One
learned
could
that in a
say.
couple weeks. But what is like the biggest distinction between going from somewhere like Spokane to where you are now?
Less dead bodies.
Less dead bodies
Really?
for sure. Yeah.
I feel like where she is.
I haven't encountered a dead body yet, and I encountered.
Okay.
I thought you
not
said
bad.
your boyfriend also didn't like that area.
Well, no, it is definitely like a sus area, but like it's not like dead bodies.
I feel like
I feel so much safer there than I do walking
okay, good.
downtown Spokane so far.
also where she lives is cute.
Yeah, I really love where I live. But definitely the biggest difference is the weather. Like, I'm not freezing cold all the time.
Which is crazy because she brought the biggest fur coat I've ever seen. And
That's right. You can bust it out in like January.
she already has.
I plan on wearing it all the
Actually,
time.
yeah, it's kind of cold. It gets cold at night.
I'm obsessed with it.
No, she literally was trying to pack her stuff, everything she owns in a car, and she's like, I need to take this fur coat. I was like, Ellie, I don't.
Had to vacuum
You're-
seal it down to bring it.
You're moving
Period.
to LA.
Is it like real fur?
No.
Oh.
But
We only believe in faux fur.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Well, I don't know.
Never.
It could be like a
Mink?
an heirloom.
An heirloom.
an heirloom fur coat.
Yeah.
Did you drive all the way down here?
I did. 18. I think it was actually 20 hours.
20 hours. I think it's probably
with my
20
mom.
hours.
Oh.
Yeah, with her mom.
And everything that you brought with you that you own fit in your car.
Well, like, I moved out of my parents' house, so like my furniture all stayed there, but all
Mm.
my clothes, all my
So this is your first time like being on your own.
No.
Well, I moved to Walla Walla for a while, and I tried moving to Argentina.
Oh, been there, done that.
Like for real,
Wow,
like
you wanted
actually
to
like
move?
up and moving
Yeah,
to Argentina.
my friend and I planned to, at the beginning of this year, we were going to live there for 2 years, and
Why?
hated it and left.
Oh, you actually went to Argentina
Yeah,
and tried
I, like,
moving
packed
there.
up
How
all my
long did you
stuff.
last?
We lasted in We were in Argentina for like 6 weeks, and then we were like, we're just going to travel. So we went to Peru and Brazil, and then back to Argentina, and went home.
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
didn't talk for
And
3 months. Broke our friendship, but we're fine.
Wait, that's so tea. Can we talk about that? Yeah. Let's talk about. No.
Why are all these friendships ending in Argentina?
Well, yeah.
What
Like,
about Argentina?
Yeah, me and Barbie, we almost cut ties too in Argentina.
did you guys really?
No, we didn't. Mandy and I trauma bonded, if anything.
Yeah, we were just both depressed and wanted to die. But
Yeah,
you
I
know.
did not enjoy, and I get canceled a lot for how much I like outwardly like dislike that
Argentinians?
country. No, just the country, just the vibes. I just didn't like so many things about it, but I want to give you the platform to say that so that I
So
don't
it's
get
not coming
canceled.
from her again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
Yeah.
you know? So you guys know that I probably
wasn't
feel
Mark.
that and more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was just so much not to like about it.
You were in Buenos Aires, right?
Yeah. Well, and then we went to Mendoza
Oh, okay.
towards the end, and then back again. But I didn't like the food.
You didn't like the paella?
I'm
That's from
vegetarian.
Spain.
Oh.
There was nothing for me. Literally nothing.
No, because
to
Argentina's
eat.
big on meat, and she's
Yeah.
vegetarian.
You're vegetarian?
I'm vegetarian.
Well, that's silly.
Yeah. No,
a silly
believe
time.
me, it's
Wait, so they're big on meat.
Yeah,
it's like steak is like one of their biggest things. And like at the end, my friend was like, I have to go to this one Michelin star restaurant. I have to try their steak. And so we go there, and I was like, what am I supposed to eat? And I like got some bread and stuff. And she's like, you have to try the steak. And she cut up a piece, and I just like put it in my mouth and like
Gagged.
gagged. I like just tasted it and spit it back out. I was like, this is awful.
You said, delicious.
this is amazing. So I was
Do
starving.
you think that was one of the
And
times?
that was one of the times that could ruin the friendship.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
feel like if I had a vegan friend, I don't think I would invite them to.
vegetarian,
Force
not
feed them.
vegan.
Sorry, if I had like a vegetarian friend, I don't think I would invite them to like a steakhouse.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
I feel like that's
But-
just something I would just do on my own.
Yeah, well, she wanted to experience it with me, I guess. But yeah, so I didn't like the food. I mean, there were some nice people. I don't want to say like I didn't like the people, but I just feel
Let the record show she's not saying she didn't like it.
but I did encounter a lot of people that felt pretentious and
Is this
didn't
in
love
Buenos Aires?
yeah. or just like Argentina in general. Especially in Mendoza when I was like at the hostels. I feel like I was meeting too many pretentious people, but
And were those tourists or they were like
both.
Oh,
There was a lot of English people, and I
No,
did
the
not get along
British.
with them. They were the worst.
Wait, what do
I
you
got
mean?
yelled
The
at.
Australians and the British.
I got yelled at by a British lady at the airport once.
Yeah.
You're Argentina?
Well.
Hey,
What did you do?
it was early in the morning.
It was like 4 a.m.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, bitch. It was like 5.
Oh.
It's we're hustling and bustling. We're at the airport, and I think I was like speaking loudly as I do. I think I was like on a phone call or just Snapchatting or something, and I was like, "So we're in Madrid. We could just made it to the airport." And what did the British lady say? She was like, "What did she say?" I don't remember, Mandy, but she was like,
You're being loud. I don't know.
"She's like, excuse me,
It's
but
so early in the morning.
It's so early. Can you please keep your voice down?" And I was like, "Girl."
I'd be so embarrassed.
I was
like-
like, oh my god.
When Barbie was told to stop screeching in the Taco Bell drive-thru.
And
And it was Miguel.
Again, that wasn't me. For those who don't know, context-wise, somebody was screaming in the car. Somebody at the Taco Bell was like, "Ma'am, can you please stop screeching?" But it was Miguel.
Oh my god.
I think you were just driving the car.
I was just driving the car. She just assumed it was me.
I just think that's so mean to say screech.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
her
that's
choice
a
of
harsh
words.
word to use.
She literally was like, "Can you please stop screeching?"
I would
She said, "Please stop
cry.
screeching. It's
literally what
hurting my
that's
ears."
basically what the British lady said to me. She was like, "It's so early in the morning. Can you please keep your voice down?"
I mean, is she wrong though?
I feel like no, she's not wrong. But at
I
the
was
same
there. I
time,
could see both sides.
I was like, at the same time, bitch, like. We're at the airport and you're like walking away anyways. Like, you're,
You guys weren't like sitting down waiting for the same plane.
oh, it's like, shut the fuck up.
That makes
She was
it
just
so
on her way.
much more
She
embarrassing.
was already on her way out. I'm like, girl.
She said, "You're ruining my day with your." with your
so
Wow,
funny.
I would, I would want to die.
Okay,
would
pretentious
too.
British people.
Oh, yeah. What else did I not like about it? I didn't like that I couldn't understand their Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Really, because we went down there to learn Spanish, and I was like, what am I listening
Is it
to
like a
right now?
different kind of
They
Spanish?
have a different accent.
Different accent.
It's actually pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I
sometimes it's
like if I knew Spanish, I probably would have liked it, but to
Yeah.
learn Spanish, it was
Confusing.
very
yeah, it is confusing because they have an extra tense that we don't like normally
Yeah.
use in America. So it's like, but I used to like be like, oh, I don't like their accent. But then sometimes I listen to it like on Netflix. If there's like an Argentinian show, I'm kind of like, oh, it's pretty.
Isn't the movie on
I'll give
Netflix
them
the platform? Have you guys seen that one? Is that from
Again,
Argentina?
that's Spain.
Oh, fuck.
Argentina.
Goddamn. Fuck.
La plataforma. The way you know that it's Spain is called.
What?
I'm being for real. They have
No,
that.
I love that.
They have that like.
It's very like, yeah.
They just talk
The
like
women,
I love it.
like the women in Spain, their voices are so.
they're
like,
all raspy. Yeah, love that.
Because they're big on cigarettes, I think. They are.
No,
They
it's just their accent.
That's.
I
to laugh.
was just stating the obvious. They're big on smoking.
Yeah, with that.
Girl.
Okay, so tell me more about like.
Wait. Continue.
I had a question about Argentina.
No, that's what I mean. Like, if there's anything else you didn't like, I would love to hear.
Barbie
it.
said, "Please keep going."
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't like Argentina, so that's why you went to Peru and Brazil. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
I actually really liked both of them. They were last minute decisions because we thought we were moving there. So we left everything we owned in Argentina and just took like one backpack and went to Peru to volunteer at a restaurant/bar. Like we just
Oh.
lived with some guy who owned the restaurant, and
You lived with him?
yeah, like in this actual shack. Like he lived next door, and then there was
You can't use your hands like that.
tie me up.
Tie your hands.
Let me.
Why would you think that's safe? Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, how do you even get involved in something like that?
Well, there's this there's this program called like there's Workaway, there's World Packers,
Oh, I've heard
where
of
you
Workaway.
like you pay to volunteer, and then there's like hosts that need help with things, and they'll put their profile on there, and then you put a profile on, and you can kind of it's like Tinder, like you match with them, you like reach out to them, and they'll accept you or not. And this guy accepted us to come work at his restaurant, literally out in the middle of nowhere. Like,
What? And you went?
yeah, my friend and I were like, okay. And so
That's crazy.
we went all the way out there. There was no AC. It was literally just like wooden walls, straw roof, no running water, cockroaches in the kitchen.
But this was a restaurant.
A restaurant, yes. And so I went to work there, and it was usually there's a lot of other like workaways there, like a lot of other volunteers, and then we got there, and 2 days later, everyone else left, and was just
Wait, why?
it was like they were already planning on leaving, but
So funny.
so it was just my friend and I, the guy that owned the restaurant, the kitchen staff, and then like this one other guy who ended up quitting and leaving at the end. So like,
But
there
were there any
no one
patrons? Like, did anybody come eat the food?
Yeah. Apparently, like, the place we were in, even though it was, like, really, really run down, a lot of people from Peru went there to go on vacation just because it's not a tourist destination. Like, not very many people know about it. And the beaches were really, really nice. So, like, a lot of Peruvians came, and then the people that lived there came. So, like, part of my job every day there was this guy that owned a restaurant, and he went by Pachito, and he would come, and he was, like, 60 years old, and my boss would just have me sit down and drink beer with him. Day after day.
What would you guys talk
Hell
about?
yeah.
Well, he was in love with me. So
Okay.
he would talk about stuff like that. And there was this one day where I was sitting drinking with him and his friend, and our boss came and sat. We were all just drinking for like 5 hours just in the afternoon.
Oh
Just
my God.
Beer after beer after beer. And Pachito owned a restaurant down the street called the Buccaneer. And he was like, let's all go keep drinking at my restaurant. And I was like, oh, he was like, oh, you should come. And I was like, oh, like, what are we going to do there? And he's like,
Get
oh,
married.
like, nothing like that unless you want it to. And I was like,
But he's saying this in Spanish.
no, he's saying this in English.
No way. Wait.
Yeah, because he and his brother
I was like, are we
He's like
domestic?
not from Argentina. He's just some
No,
random.
she's
like,
in Peru.
in Peru.
Oh,
But
Peruvian.
he and his brother lived in the U.S. for a while and then moved back. So they spoke really good English. And then,
Were they? Oh, he's 60.
60.
yeah, he's old.
I was like, well, did you give him a chance?
But
Call him up.
60, sorry.
I mean, he's a
Pachito.
restaurant owner, so
He's a businessman.
He's a
Yeah,
he
businessman,
is.
sugar daddy.
I could have been living in a room with AC.
Oh, he had
you could
AC?
move in.
Oh, that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it. But anyway,
I agree.
but I was drunk, and so I was like, okay. And so I go with my boss and him over to the restaurant, and they won't let me leave. I'm like, I need to go back. Like, I'm getting tired. And at one point, he was talking about how his restaurant was, he was like, my restaurant is like 22 years old. And I was like, oh, that's how old I am. And he was like, oh my God, I'm in love with a 22-year-old. He
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
my daughter's 21. What would she say if she knew I felt this way about you? And like, my boss is sitting right there, and I'm like, are you going to do anything to stop this? And I was freaking out. And so eventually I get back, and then I go see Pachito's brother, Jerry, who is a shaman on the beach.
Right.
And
Like, as one does. As one does.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Jerry, Jerry was also in love with me. I went back and read some text messages recently where he talked about doing ayahuasca and dreaming about me and seeing me in visions.
Where's your other friend in all this?
Being responsible, not going out. She worked in the garden, so she
Me.
didn't get asked to drink with the men. But
They had different roles.
we did different things. But anyways, Jerry takes me into his room and gives me some weed. And so I go back and I smoke the weed, and I get so paranoid. I'm like, I'm here in Peru. I'm getting sex trafficked right now.
my
My boss
God.
is in on it. There's no way for me to get out. And I'm like, I need to find my friend. Like, she's going to help me. And then I was like, oh my God, this is one of those movies where I've been hallucinating her, and I've been here for like 4 years. And I'm living in a horrible situation. I was like crying.
I've been alone this whole time.
I was freaking out. Like, oh my God.
That's actually
help.
insane.
Hey, so that's insane.
Hey, so this is insane. I
I
feel
lost
like,
my mind for a second.
so, but what happens after? Like, looking
That's
back on it,
so
do you still
scary.
think like,
No, I think I
actually
was
could have
fine.
been
I
sex
mean-
trafficked? Like, do you still talk to Pachito and Papito?
That was not his name.
And Jerry.
Oh, sorry,
Doing
Jerry.
Jerry.
Do you still Adam?
No, I don't still talk to them. But I don't know. Like, I thought I was fine. Like, once I came to, I was like, oh, that was ridiculous. But then I was telling my friend, I was like, yeah, this is so silly that I was thinking all this. She was like, Ellie, like, no, that actually could have been dangerous.
Yeah,
like,
that-
when
I
she
feel like
told,
that's very-
when she
to things
told
like
me,
that.
my jaw was on the floor. It's like, Ellie, what the fuck?
I'm like, hee hee hee. I'm fine now.
She was like, yeah, but like, I know I was just making that shit up. I was like, huh? I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's crazy.
How did you eventually leave? Because you were.
Because
you find
we were only
Jerry?
supposed to be there for 3 weeks, so just like when our
No, I mean like that
Like that
situation.
situation.
Specific
Oh, that
situation
situation.
where you're saying they weren't letting you leave the restaurant.
I think I just kept complaining until my boss was like, okay, we can go back. I was like, please, I'm so
Why
tired.
couldn't you go back on your own? Was it like really, really far?
It was like a mile, I think. Like I
Yeah,
could
no,
have,
no,
but
no.
I was
Yeah,
drunk.
no,
and
that's pretty
I
bad.
didn't
So you
really
guys
want to.
drove to. I thought it was like
Yeah.
we literally walked across the street to the next. To the
No.
other.
It's like sis.
Yeah.
Go home.
I'm like, guys.
So the workaway, I feel like I've seen a couple. I wanted to do one. It's isn't it like there was one that I saw where it was literally like in exchange for staying in that person's house upstairs, I would work at the coffee shop for like 4
Yeah.
hours a
Oh,
day.
that's like a nice one.
But I think it was like a work. Yeah, I feel like
Where was it? What country?
it was in Mexico City.
Oh, you should have done that.
I think I ended up not doing it because I was scared of being in the same situation. I get scared of
Yeah.
that shit so much where I like
I should be more
And I
scared.
think she should take some lessons from you.
and you literally like damn, you were just doing it. You
Yeah.
were doing the thing.
I mean, when Mandy and I were in Argentina, we
didn't do anything. We were the
didn't-
opposite of
we were
whatever you did.
extreme scaredy cats. We didn't do anything. Kind of regret not having a life over there. But also, there was this girl that was our friend who was in our program, and she did not
Give a fuck.
like.
No fear receptors.
She would hitchhike throughout like
I think
Chile
that
or
she
something.
came from Peru back to Argentina by hitchhiking. And we didn't hear from her for like
That's
a week.
crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
she's so
were
tough.
like, where did she go? Is she okay? And she's like, oh yeah, like I just. Like, I don't know how you ladies do it. And now you're like not fearing for your lives, but also maybe part of me is like, well, maybe that's how you.
Yeah,
should be
because part
living.
of it is like me and Barbie, when we first got to Buenos Aires, we were so scared we didn't leave the hotel after 8 p.m.
But looking back, if you guys regretted it, what would you have done differently?
Left the hotel after 8 p.m.
like not be so scared.
Not
you
be
know?
so scared. Yeah.
But also like in our defense, we had just gone there. Like we just got there. We both our Spanish was both pretty like you know.
I just feel like you never know.
yeah.
But like we could have gotten over that after we'd been there for 6 months and we didn't.
But you guys also weren't in like a major city, were you?
Well, when we first got there we were. But then when we were living at the school, there was nowhere to go anyways after.
And they wouldn't even let you out. You had to be in your dorm by 7 p.m. Right?
I think it was 9. I think it was 9.
Oh. 7 p.m. to me. I'm just kidding. It felt like 7.
Perfect.
You had to be in by 9.
How
and then
strict
they
were
locked the
they
doors.
out that on that?
Oh my
rule,
god, it
though?
was
Like,
so
very
strict.
strict.
Like they would call if they had your number, they would be calling you like, "Where are you? I know you're here, or I heard this
Oh
was
my
gonna
God.
happen."
But
Like,
you're in college. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
crazy.
but it's
Yeah.
like very conservative there. Like they would tell you how what to dress, how to dress, and like that's not appropriate. You need to go change. That's disrespectful.
Me and my
like,
booty shorts. I literally did. I wore like really short shorts. It was hot. It was hot. And I would go to the American classes. And it was fine, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I think I think somebody was kind of like, well, you probably shouldn't wear that short, but I was like, but the guy in charge, he's like the leader. He like I'd be like, are these shorts okay? Like I had different kinds of shorts.
Harold.
Yeah, he was so sweet. He'd honestly be like, he's like, you know, it's okay.
I love that
as
man.
long as we don't go to the like Argentinian school side, you know, as long as we're with the Americans, like it's fine.
No,
But
that man was so sweet. He took
was very
me.
kind.
He took me to the hospital a couple times when Barbie couldn't.
So was there like segregation on campus then?
Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Like the whole point is to go to Argentina to learn Spanish, but then they would like have only the Americans in one classroom.
No, because
like,
it was supposed to be an immersive experience,
Yeah.
and then like 2 months in, everybody went on their summer break, and it was just us,
just 30,
15,
yeah, like 30
13.
Americans stuck together with nobody speaking Spanish.
nowhere to go.
And even if it was immersive, it wasn't because when the 2 quarters that the Argentinians were,
we
like,
were in
with
different
us,
classes.
we weren't allowed to take classes with them.
Yeah.
So we weren't taking any classes in Spanish. It was Spanish classes. Like I wanted to take a history class. I wanted to take fucking, I don't know, biology or something in Spanish. I feel like that's way more immersive than
Biología. Biología? That's biology, no?
Yes.
But so you guys went there for school, which is why I feel like you guys may have had a more awful time. But you went like willingly. There was no one.
Will had no goals other than to have a good time, and you still didn't have
I mean, I did have like
some fun.
some fun, but Yeah, I went on my own volition. Still didn't have.
She's supposed to be there right now.
I was supposed to be there for
That's
another
crazy.
Wow.
year plus.
Year and a half.
And why did you choose Argentina out of like all the countries to have chosen?
We were gonna go to Spain, couldn't figure out the visas, and then we had someone recommend Argentina to us.
That's
they were
crazy.
like,
Shoot them.
they deserve it.
They're
Honestly,
praying for your downfall.
because
They were
literally,
like, it's a prank.
we literally moved there and we hit her up and we are like, hey, like, we're here now. We want to visit. She's like, oh, I actually hate it. I'm moving back to America.
No,
and I was
she
like,
didn't.
my
Really?
God.
why
What a
would you do this to
snake.
us? So,
Snake ass.
yeah, I was like, she was
Snake energy.
actively preying on her downfall.
That's so funny.
Okay,
Shut
but
us up.
tell us about your friendship falling out. Like, how did this? How did you?
Girl.
It was just, we spent too much time together because we were together nonstop and we were poor. So we were living in like 1-bedroom Airbnbs. There was no way to get away from each other. Didn't have any space at all. And so
Couldn't bust a nut in peace.
literally,
She had to go hit up Pachito.
exactly. I'm like, Pachito, get me one of your hotel rooms. But so like all the little things that, and like I think we also went into the trip on a bad note because of I had been living with her family the past summer, and I think that there were just some things that went wrong already. And
Dang.
so
Starting off on a bad.
So we started
wrong foot.
off not on like necessarily the best terms, and then because plans were changing so fast, like we just weren't like communicating that well enough. Like she didn't tell me that she immediately wanted to not live there, and then
Immediately
you guys
not
got
having a
there.
good.
like first day she had already decided she like didn't want to live there, and I also didn't really want to, but we weren't like talking about it, and so like things were just kind of building up, and we weren't communicating really well, and then we were not even speaking to each other on the plane ride back.
That's crazy. I wonder why
Yeah.
traveling stories like this, like, why is it always when you travel, things go south?
You remember when we would drive to college and then we'd all hate each other? Well, actually,
Again, that was already because we were on bad terms.
But it's like similar things. Like you like
I think it's because you're with someone way like exponentially more time
and you
spending
don't
with
get
them.
you don't get time to yourself.
And
to
then
regroup.
also if you have different communication styles, it really comes out at that time. Like, wow, just every issue that you could ever have is like magnified.
Yeah.
In such
dude,
a short
I'm so
period of time.
scared. I'm getting on a plane with Axel tomorrow to New York for a whole
Well,
week.
it's just 1 week.
You'll
You'll be
okay.
fine. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
We come back, we're broken up.
No, don't speak.
Not
I feel like
manifesting that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Well,
guess we'll see next week.
Well, let's talk about how you guys met. So you come back. You weren't even supposed to be here.
I know.
Yeah.
How did you guys end up even like reconnecting?
Yeah, tell him, Ellie.
we both went back to Walla Walla in June for a graduation. Of like a few. Yeah. And so when all of our friends like got together, we were all supposed to go get sushi together, and we sat down, and then all of a sudden all of them were like, oh, there's this one friend that Mandy and I mutually both don't like.
Oh, I've been
And-
watching.
Do they know?
I feel like they know because we were mean to them. And you know what? I want to take this time to apologize
Oh my
because they
God.
did not deserve.
Wait,
They've done nothing
camera,
wrong. But anyways, they they did not deserve the treatment that I gave them, and I'm sorry. But
Why
anyway.
did you not?
kind
Why
of
did you guys
did.
not like this person?
Well, for me, it's just whenever I was in college and they'd have like parties, I'd be having like a good old time at my house. We'd be having fun, all my friends, we're playing games, whatever. And they're like, okay, let's go to this person's house next. Every time I'd go to their house, the worst vibes. Like everyone was
Worst vibes.
silent, like no sounds being made. Everyone's just like high, which I'm like, okay, if that's your vibe. But I'm like, what if we like talked? What if we had
What
a
if?
laugh? Like, what if we had
What if like
What
all
if
you
we
guys
had
were just, like, all you guys were just win nonverbal?
They did,
Yeah.
and I walk in, and I'm like on a different vibe. I'm like, let's get lit, let's party, and I just
They're just
they're
They're like the British people. Like, can you keep your voice?
yeah. And every time they would want to go, I'd be like, oh, this is the worst vibe. This is not what I
hate
want.
going
But that
there.
happens so often that you literally treated this person not the
No,
best.
I have some personal reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
But could you also say that this person may have given you guys something in common?
Yes.
So you are
Mutual
responsible.
hate.
Mutual.
You're at least 10% responsible for their relationship.
Thanks.
So much.
Yeah.
So then you go to sushi. This person's there. You meet.
No,
we're-
no.
Our friends wanted to go hang out at their house.
Oh.
We had all gone
Again?
to sushi.
Okay.
And then they were like, oh,
We need
let's
to go
go
say
to
hi, yeah.
their house. And they were like, let's all go. And Mandy and I were like,
We just look at
don't-
each other.
We don't want to.
Oh, cute.
Please don't make us.
Yeah.
So then that was our first date. Is that
So fun.
Everybody left. Yeah.
Everyone left and it was just us at the sushi restaurant. And we were supposed to pick up sushi for them because they were like,
We're starving.
We're gonna order sushi. We're so hungry. Like, you guys stay, eat your sushi, bring it back. We'll all meet at like one of our friends' houses. And so we're like, okay, heard. And we're just talking.
Just gabbing.
Just having the best time, and then we go get ice cream, and we get back to the house, and we get back, and everyone's so excited to see us. We're like,
I'm like,
oh,
okay,
stop,
they miss
guys, I
us.
got it. And then one of our friends is like, "Where's the sushi?" And Mandy and I look at each other, and we're like,
The what?
"Right, the sushi."
I'd actually be pissed.
No, one of my friends started,
Started
crying.
crying.
I'd be so
They
mad.
went outside and started crying.
They were
because
so
we had forgotten-
hangry.
we forgot
And
the
then
But I feel like that's also on them. Like, why would you leave to go hang out at somebody's house and then give somebody else the response?
it was my idea. I was like, oh, we can pick
can
up
bring it
for
for
you.
you.
So you were plotting. You were like, I want to be alone with Ellie.
Hell yeah.
exactly.
Fair enough.
But then
And everything worked out up until that point.
oh my god. And then when I was driving back from Walla Walla, I stopped to get gas, and
This was
looking-
like 2 days later.
this was 2 days later. I was looking for something in my backseat, found the sushi. We had
We
picked
had
it up.
got it. And I remember,
Were you guys like high or something?
They were just high on love.
like two of the
Love.
dumbest bitches I've ever. So you did buy the sushi? You just didn't bring it in?
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I was like, guys, it's not my fault. If the waitress would have brought it, I would have remembered.
Yeah.
And she must have, because I did remember to bring it in.
But then we put it in the back seat, out of sight, out of mind, forgot all about it.
Wow.
So you had sushi rolls in the back of your car.
But they don't know that. So
They don't know.
Oh, they don't know
we
to
haven't,
this
we haven't
day.
told.
I know they
She
don't
was-
watch this episode.
They were crying. I'm not about to tell them.
So who paid for it?
They did.
Yeah.
That is so. Apologize right now.
Apologize right now.
Hey, guys.
Sorry.
Deepest condolences. I'm sorry. Deepest apologies. I'm
Yeah, but
Dad, how
we
many
never told
rolls?
them. We never told them we found the sushi because I
Yeah.
just feel like that would have been
That had,
And
that
so
had to
weird.
be like a at minimum $50 bill.
Yeah, probably. It was a lot.
They'll live. They'll survive.
They were so angry,
were
and they
so
were supposed to have a
mad.
party after. I'm like, come on, guys, we can come back.
Let's drink. No one wanted to drink.
Just me and Ellie drunk as fuck, still laughing.
They're just like, get the hell out, dude.
So upset.
Yeah.
Well, Mandy and Ellie have said their apologies. Miguel, is there anyone you need to apologize to?
This was this is not about me.
I know, but we're just gonna do an apology circle.
I don't have anything to apologize for.
Okay, we love that. Love your
I
confidence.
don't think
Love your
At
confidence.
least not recently.
Oh,
No, it's supposed to be like anything you've ever
In
done
your
in the
life.
past that you're like, you know what? I didn't apologize for this.
No.
Okay.
I can think of some people.
Wait, who?
I'm kidding.
I'll say sorry to them right now.
Me.
If I have wronged you and you feel like you deserve an apology, let me know.
Comment down below.
Comment down below.
Send us an email.
I have no problem apologizing. I just want to know what I'm apologizing for.
Okay, Barbie.
Me?
You have a lot of people to apologize.
I do. I want to apologize to the British lady at the airport.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ruined
I was
her
a
day.
little too loud, and at the time I was just going through it. And I was just a really loud person. I still think I'm a loud person, but I think I have toned down. I would also like to apologize to that guy who slid into my DMs in college, and it didn't register that I was being mean. I just thought I was being funny,
It was both.
but it.
Well, what did you do? Can you explain?
Well,
that?
I'm gonna say. So this person had slid into my DMs. A friend of mine had already told me about this person, and they were like, "Oh, he like makes a bunch of gross jokes and da 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 da." So I already had like this preconceived like idea of him. He's probably actually a really sweet guy. He messaged me, being like, "Oh, would you ever want to go out with somebody like me?" I don't know, but it it was like kind of a funny way that he had asked anyways. So I was in the jokey mood. Like we're both joking around. So I sent him a GIF that I don't know what TV show it's from, but it's like, does that sound like something you want? Well, let me tell you, you're never gonna get it.
You're never gonna get it.
Where's that from? I don't know. But
I think it's a talk show.
I think it is a talk show.
yeah, like someone's like, does that sound like something you want? And the person's like, well, let me tell you, you're never gonna get it. So I said that. I don't remember what he said to that. Maybe like an LMAO with a crying face or something. I don't know.
LMAO.
But like in
That
my head,
sent him to therapy for real.
Yeah, that's so mean.
I don't think he's fine. He's married. But like, I don't think that in my head, it was
His
just
wife
funny.
is having to deal with that constantly.
I'm
Oh my
pretty sure
God.
he brushed it off. Isn't that? But in my head, like
Pretty
looking
sure.
back, I'm like, wow, that was mean. Like I don't consider myself a mean person. And so when I look up, I was like, that was really mean. Because in my head, I just thought it was funny. Like that we were both laughing, maybe. Because he seemed like a laughing, goofy kind of
Seems
person.
like a laughing matter.
Yeah.
But I feel like you read it, like when you read a text,
Uh-huh.
you don't, I feel like he probably didn't even know what the meme was. He really, like, he was like, oh.
I have
Like,
no...
damn, you could have just said, like, I'm okay.
No thanks.
Like, no thanks.
So
No
I really,
thanks,
that's why
bitch.
I really want to apologize. I just want to say I didn't intend to be mean, and I apologize. But sometimes we don't realize when we're being mean. And I think that I thought it was funny. I thought it was a joke because I took my own love life as a joke. Like, to me, it was just like, oh, haha, it's not that serious. But now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, that was mean.
Yeah, you
So-
probably, like, ruined his life, though.
No, I don't think...
He's fine.
I think he's fine. He's
But do you know
happily
how
married.
sometimes, like, in our subconscious, we, like, remember the times when somebody said something so whack to us?
And I agree.
And
That
you
was
might be that person
extremely
for
whack.
him.
And then maybe, and that's when you never know, like, when you're the villain or when you do something extremely rude.
I
Like,
agree.
you always think that... Not you always think that you're the victim or whatever, but like you always think they're like, oh, I'm a nice person, blah blah blah. You don't realize how many times you could have said something or done something
That really did hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Speaking of hurting people's feelings and not knowing and taking somebody's love life as a joke, Miguel, you have something to apologize.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
When I was 16, we were at church, and I liked this guy in my high school, and it was just like this. He likes her, she likes him. Will they get together? Won't they? Back and forth. He liked me, I didn't like him, and then I liked him, and then he liked me. And just it was
Too
a nightmare.
much.
It was a nightmare. Miguel and Barbie thought it would be so
I don't know
silly.
what the fuck you're talking. Do you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
They thought it would be so silly. They created a like ship account.
And it was so creative. If you think about it, like the ship name was Mandy plus the name that's
Person.
C. So if anything, she should be grateful.
Wait, I
So-
don't remember this. We made an Instagram
So
account.
they made an Instagram shipping account and it was like Candy Lover or whatever, or Candy Shipper. They only followed me and him. And I was mortified, and they're laughing. They think it's so silly. This is literally bullying. This is bullying.
Did we post
Harassment.
anything on the account, though?
Is it bullying if you think like, hey, they like each other, they just need to know? Like,
Here's why it was bullying, because this man had already told me I was a little crazy. I was a little psycho.
Why do
wrong?
you say that, though?
Well, he wasn't wrong, but it still hurt my
I think
feelings.
he's wrong.
But what were you doing that made him think, yo, this bitch is crazy?
Okay, the truth
Wait,
comes out.
wait. No, I just was obsessed with him, and
But were you like openly obsessed with him? Like you open your locker and there's like a picture of him?
no. But I feel like I wasn't even at my craziest. I wasn't crazy until after we broke up. Then I was doing some crazy shit.
What is that?
Actually, if he ever listened to this, he's gonna know. So after we broke up, fun fact,
Actually, really sad fact.
After we broke up, whenever, you know how like sometimes you have to sign up for things online so that you can get discounts and stuff. I would sign him up for a lot of like sales calls all the time. His
That's
phone
actually so
number and his
fucked up.
email. So if he's still getting those, that was me, bitch. Okay, that was
So
me.
good.
Oh my God.
I also was trying to get him back, so I used to spray my perfume around wherever he was gonna walk.
Dude, that is the most psychotic shit I've ever heard.
And it would work because he would bring it up. He'd be like, "Oh my god, it kind of smells like you here," and I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
That's insane.
So was he right?
But
Yes. Did it hurt my feelings?
notice how when we made that Instagram account, we were correct because you guys ended up getting together. So therefore, it was the nudge you needed.
Yeah, but when he already went into it thinking this bitch is crazy. He already knew too much.
But I feel like the Instagram.
Because here's the thing. He did because the word on the street was that I was fucking psycho. I know that nobody would have thought that somebody made this up trying to prank me. He's like, wow, this bitch made it herself.
That's so funny.
No, but literally when we were like voting for stuff, I had to like, prom king and queen. I was voting myself and him.
But now that I'm hearing this for the first time,
God.
the shit that you did on your own compared to like what we did,
The things that you lied
like
about
your
concerning
shit's
your
so
mother.
much, your shit's so much like worse.
But I was in control of it, okay?
Yeah.
But anyways, that was so mean.
Yeah, well, I'm so sorry. I honestly, you like took that memory from like the back of my. I forgot that was even a thing. Didn't we like make like an apology book or something?
Yeah,
for you?
because I was like, well, that's it. I'm cutting these bitches off. I'm never talking to them again. This podcast wasn't gonna happen. So they made the shittiest apology book I've ever seen. It had like coupon cards, one free hang.
One free yogurt land.
Oh my god.
We love you. We're so sorry. We oofed.
But was this account up for like a couple weeks? Like, did we post on it? Like, I'm confused as to like.
I think you guys took it down that day. Actually, you took it down that day because we went to choir with when Kelly was leading, and we went to choir, and I'm sobbing, and she sat you guys down. She's like, "You guys messed up. You need to apologize because we can't sing until you apologize."
And she's like, "We have a Christmas program coming up.
Christmas program to get together, so you need to pull your shit together and
I do
apologize."
not remember being reprimanded by an adult about this issue. That's crazy.
Yeah, because she was like young and hip, and I'm like, girl,
where
guess
is
what?
she?
Guess
I
what they
miss her.
did to me? Guess what?
That's so funny.
But yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry. I did not know that happened.
You said I wish I was there for that. I would have stopped
But again, that goes back to the whole thing of like, how many times have we wronged somebody and we don't even know it?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go into a spiral tonight because I'm just gonna think back.
Honestly, you deserve it.
I'm just not gonna remember anything. I'm telling you, if I've wronged you and I owe you an apology, let me know what I was wrong.
You should
for.
write in. And in fact, everybody email the Lord Far Squad podcast
At
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com saying how Miguel's wronged you, and we'll read it out loud on the next episode.
Yeah, that sounds like a good
And he'll
plan.
give each one of you a personal apology.
But you guys also kind of wronged someone. Ellie, I actually like we had a we had a write-in. Even though you were like a surprise guest, like the senses were tingling, and this person knew that you wronged them. So I'm gonna allow you the space to sort of like come forward.
Say what you did wrong.
I do need to give a formal apology to someone. Someone in this room. Mandy, I am so sorry that when you first asked me out on a date 2 years ago, I invited 10 other people to go on
That's
with
crazy.
I
us.
can't believe.
Thank you for being honest. Thank you for your candor.
I will
Mandy, do you
own
want
up
to
to
respond?
Yeah, and now that you know I'm psycho bitch, you better watch yourself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 4 and 2 years ago.
4
Ellie was the first girl I ever asked out on a date.
Aw.
And then
And I messed it up.
and she fucked it up. And
But no,
then
no, but
I
let's-
never asked anyone out ever again.
Let's kind of give some context. You two were blasted at a party.
Yeah.
Mandy
Drunk.
asks Ellie out, like, "Hey, let's go on a date." Mm-hmm. And then you don't text back, and then you have to.
No, the next
follow
day,
up.
then I'm like, you know what? I feel like that was kind of like, I was like, oh, like I should have asked this beautiful woman out better. It's sober, yeah. And like I should have, So the next day I followed up via Snapchat, as one does.
So childish.
Yep.
And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
hey, like I know we were drunk, but I meant that shit. Would you like to go out with me and go so and so?
What were the words though? Was it, "Do you want to go out with me? Do you want to go on a date with me? Do you want to hang out?"
Well, first when I asked her, I said, let's go out on a date.
But this was like eye to eye in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the next day I was like, hey, like I know we were drunk, but I meant that.
And I responded saying,
So cool.
so cool. What if we invite all of our friends?
That's
I was like,
crazy.
heard.
But then in your head,
She's like,
but
just us?
how did you respond?
I was like, that's the best idea you could have had.
She's like, "Yeah, that'd be
There's
so
nothing I
fun."
like more than that, actually.
But was there never anything in your mind that thought to tell her like, wait, no, I'd actually really like it if it was just me and you?
I feel like that was very clear initially when I said,
Like take the hint.
let's go on a date.
I
Yeah.
just got scared. I was like, you need everyone here to come with me.
Scared of what?
Scared of what?
Just intimidated.
By this bitch?
Hey.
Hey.
She wears grandma clothes.
Hey.
So then let's talk about that fear. So like you get this text message and you read it. Why is your first instinct like I'm gonna respond? but with
the
like
worst
the worst
news.
thing the worst thing that you could tell someone.
Because I really did want to go on a date, but I was just scared. I was like, well,
Scared of what?
I told
No,
you.
I get that. People are intimidating.
And so I was like, since we have so many friends in common, like we met through a lot of mutual friends, I was like, if they're all there, then it can be less scary to me.
I
I'll have
can-
all
I
these
can see that,
people,
yeah.
and she already knows all these people, so it'll be fun. But
Yeah.
then we didn't talk the entire
Yeah,
time.
so she sat right next to me and I said, fuck this bitch, I'm not talking to her.
So, yeah.
Because you thought you meant like I'm not interested.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
fair.
like I've done that. I've done that where I'm like, when somebody asks me out and I'm like, oh, like what if everyone comes? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
No, I definitely
that's the
see how it
message.
looked.
You're ugly, I hate you.
You want me to
I'm
die.
feeling the
disgusted
exact
by you.
But while you guys are sitting there at dinner, like there's not like sexual tension, like energy.
No,
like even
I
though
was
like,
like-
there was anger and like you were
Anger
so
and
mad
fear.
and fear.
It was all repressed. I was
Like, there
"Don't
wasn't, like,
fucking talk to
electricity?
me."
No,
Oh, wow.
like we literally didn't talk.
Oh, wow.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so come 2 years later,
Yeah, so
I brought
2 years
that up.
later-
Yeah, I brought that up at. Did I talk about the Pong party already?
You haven't now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 2 years later, after the sushi incident, we're like, all right, guys, let's regroup. We can still bring this weekend back. We can still have fun. So we had been planning this Pong party. Like it was a big thing. Like we're coming for graduation weekend. We're having a party. It's gonna be a Pong tournament.
Like table pong, like beer
Yeah, like
pong.
Beer
Pong.
pong. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like everyone was excited. Everyone had their girlfriend who was going to be their Pong partner. And I'm like, this is the worst news, actually. Like, this is depressing as fuck. Me showing up alone. And I'm like, cool. So then I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to be Pong partners with that bitch. I hate the one person.
Yeah.
Because they were also single.
The person I had to apologize to. Yeah. But then I heard along the grapevine, they're like, one of my friends told me, they're like, oh, Ellie said she wants to be your Pong partner.
Yeah, I had
And I was
texted him
like-
like 2 weeks before, being like, Mandy doesn't know it yet. She's gonna be my pong partner.
And that's when I knew this bitch, she regrets. She regrets everything she did to me.
And I did.
So there was no talking within that 2 year period.
She would like swipe up on my stories. I'm like, fuck you.
All the time.
Like, fuck you, bitch.
And he
Get outta
never
here.
slid up on mine.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you had your chance.
Yeah, and I was sad.
You squandered it. But yeah, so then we end up being Pong partners. It works out because she ended up staying at my sister's house.
I wasn't supposed to. That wasn't the original plan. But I had been getting an Airbnb with some of my friends, and then my mom messed up some dates for like a family vacation. So I texted them, I'm like, guys, I'm not gonna make it because I thought it was gonna be over the same weekend. And literally the next day I find out my mom had messed up the dates, and so I text them, I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be able to make it. And they're like, cool, we're really excited to see you, but we gave away your spot in the Airbnb.
That fast.
And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I can just sleep on the floor. And they're like, well, you can't actually be in the house because
Oh.
one of the friend that they invited in, I had like kind of been a thing with him. And then his girlfriend was like, you're not allowed to be in the same house as this girl. And so they're like, you have to find somewhere else to go. And I was like, guys, where? And then one of them told me that Mandy's sister, Holly, had gone to house because I thought she still lived in the dorm. And so I'm like, Holly, can I please stay with you? And she's like, yeah, Mandy's going to be here. And I was like, perfect.
She made sure to drop that little hint of
So
information.
everything
So
like
it all
kind of
worked out.
fell
You
into
know?
place.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. So then at that Pong party, I'm like, we we beat my sister.
Mm-hmm.
We beat my sister and her partner at the Pong, and then we were really gone, and we thought we won the whole thing.
We did.
We never won another game.
We did it.
That's so funny.
But during that time, after we thought we were like the victors, I'm like, you remember like 2 years ago when I like asked you out and you invite all your friends? That was kind of silly.
So you brought it up first.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I said, let me bring this up.
So you were used to
I was
that.
stewing.
about
I
this.
was stewing.
Were you hoping that she would bring it up?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up if she didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a cute story. It's like a little movie.
Yeah. So we talked it out, and then a week later, I bought a ticket to LA to come.
Oh, wow.
As she should.
see her.
As she should.
Move fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she came and asked me to be her girlfriend. So,
Aw, we love
And now you
it.
live here.
And now I
She
live
lives
here.
Okay.
so she made up for it.
Yeah.
2 years in the making.
Yeah. She just made me brood for 2 years.
Felt deep regret for 2 years.
Perfect.
So
That's what she told me too. I was like, yeah, you remember that? She was like, yeah, and I've regretted it every day since. I was like, Avi.
Every day since that's a bit much.
That's crazy.
She said what she said.
That's so funny.
true.
So, Ellie, clearly, like, you're mentally a little fucked up for letting Mandy go. Because Mandy's a catch and you didn't see that. But, you know, rumor
But you
has
see
it.
it now.
Yeah, you see it now. You
I
know?
do see it now. I
Just kidding. That was a little
gone to
mean.
therapy, realized
You've
my
gone to
mistakes.
therapy, yeah, and then you realize, like, wait, Mandy's actually the one, right? But here's the thing, it's like, before we started recording, actually, you were telling me that you actually are, like, mentally, like, ill.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I am.
She's got
I-
some screws loose.
some screws loose. Yeah. I do have a few diagnoses
You
that
and me
I've
both,
received.
sis. You
I've been
between us four, diagnosis
everything
through
in
the
the
roof.
handbook. Yeah. So I was a lot growing up, caused a lot of problems, would fight with my parents, would run away, would threaten to hurt myself and others. Was just a menace to society.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does.
In Spokane.
In
In Spokane.
Maybe that
right.
makes sense for Spokane.
Adds
though.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my best friend in 8th grade was a drug dealer who he was 18 years old as a freshman in high school.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay.
So little 13-year-old me was like, hey, and he would deal drugs, and his dad had faked his death and run away from the Russian mafia. They had moved to Spokane
Right.
from Russia.
Right.
And he influenced me into some things that he had just gotten out of juvie when he got to our school. And
How do they even allow him to be 18 and a freshman in high school?
a great question. He
And
should
Ellie's
not
like,
have been
of
there.
all people I'm gonna befriend, this is.
No, he was my best friend. I talked to him all the time about everything. He told me about how he tried to kill his stepdad, and I was like, this is so inspiring.
Oh my god.
But when we talk about when we say dealing drugs,
Yeah.
like what do you mean? Like what? Like hard stuff?
Yeah. Literally unknown substances. I just met with all my middle school friends right before I moved here. None of us know what he was giving out. I wasn't taking any of it, but he
Like
was
you weren't getting a cut. You weren't like helping.
I was scared. I was scared of hard drugs. But yeah, he was just bringing unknown substances, and girls were snorting it in the bathroom. And I
God.
to this
Wow, in
day
high
don't know
school.
what it was.
Oh my god.
Can't even
Not
imagine.
no middle school.
Middle school.
I was 13 when all this was going on. It was like it went to 10th grade, so he was technically in high school, but I was
Where is he now? Do you know?
no idea.
We're looking for you.
Lost
Hope
connections.
He's doing well. Better than he was then. But yeah, so because I was getting into so much trouble, I would like threaten people online over Facebook Messenger, but I was logged into Facebook on my parents' computer. So they would get all these notifications, and they would come up and they'd be like, Ellie, like, if you follow through on this, the police will see this. You will go to jail. And I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You don't know about anything, and run away from home.
What?
That's literally. Were your parents like they were gentle parents? They were like you know how they parent gently, like.
I mean, like, they weren't super gentle, but they were pretty good. And I was just being me, and
They
I
were
was
just like,
being
what
the
the
worst.
fuck do we do about this?
They're like, how do we help her? So my mom started taking me to therapy. I got diagnosed with everything, but most especially like a conduct and emotional adjustment disorder, basically just saying I was a problem.
Just like with a little label.
Yeah, like put a label on my
Nicely.
the problem. But then yeah, my dad, he's a physical therapist, and he does something called strain counter strain, which to me feels like witchcraft.
Right.
Makes sense. Everything's adding up.
Like when you normally go to physical therapy, like you get hurt, they give you some exercises to like help recover, whatever. And my dad will be like, oh, your ankle hurts, and you lay down on a table, and he starts like pressing on your head, like moving things around. It has to do with like your fascia and stuff. And
it works.
for other people. It's never worked for me. I have gotten so many different types of injuries, and like my dad, his Google reviews are all like, he fixed pain that no one else could. Like, my life has been changed. If it
What?
wasn't for him, like, I don't know where I would be. And his instructors and stuff have cured things like blindness. And I'm like, okay, none of that is working for
Miracles.
me. Miracles. But my dad, one of his instructors did a course on head injuries and like how that can really tighten all the fascia up or something and cause a lot of problems. So my dad remembered a time when I was 12 that he accidentally slammed a car trunk on my head and knocked me out.
Like knocked out for real.
No, like I was passed out. Like,
No.
because I was like
Whoa,
running around the court and
really?
it was
Oh my
like
God.
a minivan car trunk and he slams it down. It hits me like right in the center of my head. I'm like flat on my back. I wake up on the couch inside. I'm like, how did I get here?
Wow.
Didn't go to the hospital. Didn't get diagnosed with a concussion, but like pretty sure I was concussed.
Oh my God.
And my dad, he was like, oh my God, I gave her a head injury. I'm the reason that it was all these things. And then like right before this, I had stolen $3,000 from my parents. And when they found out, I came out to them to try to like throw them off.
The art of misdirections.
I was like, how?
Never let him know your next move.
That's so funny.
Insult to injury for real.
I know. So then my mom's like praying. She's like, my daughter's stealing from me and she's gay. What do I do?
I don't know which one to be more upset about.
No. And so my dad's like, the head injury is the reason she's gay. It's the reason she's so mentally ill and a problem. And so he's like, I'm going to take you to see my instructor.
And then they're just gonna knock you back.
Yeah, they were knock me back. He's like, I'm going to have him fix you. I'm going to.
Oh, like the pressure points instructor.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, it's going to.
At least they didn't take you to a pastor.
At least. But
That's next.
yeah. So I went.
Where did he touch you?
Just my head. And when he was doing it, he was like, yeah, something about my, what did I tell you?
Your
hippocampus? My
Yeah.
hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus,
Was
yeah,
it the hypothalamus? Basically something was wrong with it and I have no fear receptors.
Yeah, which is where your fear receptors are.
Yeah, no judgment.
Your hunger.
Oh
all
yeah,
of
he
that.
said like, cause I don't get hungry very often and it was apparently something with my
I want that.
Oh.
Let me just slam a car trunk.
Wait, but fear receptors?
fear receptors.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
For the audio listeners.
Miguel's doing some
my
crazy
God.
gestures with his
I don't
fingers
know why.
right now.
I don't know why I just went straight to that.
insane.
Oh.
Your fear receptors. Your fear receptor, is that like the shit that triggers your fight or flight? Like you don't have a fight or flight.
No, like, and honestly, that's true. If something scares me, I don't fight or flight. I just fall down.
Oh my
like,
God.
I was in a
Whoa.
haunted house once, something jumped out, and my legs just stopped working. I fell down. No.
You just become like a noodle.
That's so funny.
Oh my
But
God.
what else in your life have you noticed that like I don't have a fear receptor because this happened?
Why I mean this shit with
Pachito.
Cheeto, this
Oh,
summer,
yeah.
I stayed. My friend and I went to Lollapalooza, and we found out that our Airbnb, like, we get to it, and the windows are literally busted in. No one's there. So we're like, we can't stay here. And we get on the train, and, like, we had been talking to the conductors on the way down, and they're like, you can't stay there. Like, that's the most dangerous area of town. Like, before we even knew about the window situation. And so then our Uber driver takes us to the Airbnb, and they're like, don't stay here. I would never let any of my daughters stay here. This is so dangerous. And we're like, we're just going to check it out. We get there. We can't stay there. So we get back on the train, and the two conductors are like, we knew we'd see you again. And then when they're like, we like,
Did you get your money back?
Yeah.
Okay.
She called and like complained and stuff. And so then one of the conductors was like, I don't know if you guys found a place to stay, but I was going to offer up this unfurnished apartment of mine that I have. And we were like, he's like, you could stay there for free. He's like, you
yeah.
just have
Stop. Really?
Yeah.
It's literally just like a back room.
So we were like, okay, like this man is giving us a free place to stay. Perfect. And I was like,
Girl.
I was like, okay, because he was like, I have this unfurnished apartment. The tenants haven't moved in yet. So I'm thinking he lives somewhere. He has an apartment. Like we can go stay at his apartment, and we'll just like know he probably has a key and just be aware of that. And so we're like, yeah, we've decided to take you up on it. Like, how do we get the key from you? And he's like, oh, I can drive you there right now. Like, I'm off my shift. So my friend and I get off the train with him, go to his car, this random man, and I text Mandy.
She's texting me, and I'm like, Ellie, what the fuck?
How old is he?
His like full government name was on his parking pass, and I'm like, Mandy, his name was like, in case something happens to me.
Was he like young?
No, he was like probably 50, 40 something.
They got a thing for her.
Yeah, I
50
guess.
and 6-year-olds.
And so he's taking us on a tour. He's like, do you guys want to see all the houses around here? Like, I'll drive you around to all the houses. We're like, okay, perfect. He's like nice, I guess, but we're just driving with this random man. And so then he's like, okay, here's my house. And we get to it, and we thought like, oh, he's going to grab the keys or something. And he was like, okay, come in. We're like, what? He shows us his garden. It turns out our apartment's just upstairs from his. There's like one staircase. And he's going to be living downstairs. He's like, yep, this is where you guys are staying. And we were like, okay, perfect. And my friend keeps looking at me, and she's like, are we sure this is safe? Like, what if something happens to us? And I'm like, well, we're here now. I don't know what else we're going to do. Like, it's Lollapalooza. There's not a single open hotel or Airbnb in this whole city. Like, that's what we have to do.
Were there signs of like he was married with kids?
He
in the
was not
house?
married. He was divorced. He brought up his ex constantly because apparently she used to live in Spokane. So he learned that's where I was from.
Did the house look like a murderer's house, or did it look like?
I mean, the upstairs where we were staying was completely empty, unfurnished,
Wow. She
nothing
slept
in
on
there.
her clothes.
No bed?
Well, my friend and I were like, let's go to Target, get an air mattress, and then we can return it. As we're in line for checkout, we see a sticker that's like, you can't return the air mattresses. So we put it back, and we're like, what the hell are we going to sleep on? And we buy inflatable pool floats, and we blow them up, and that's what we slept on.
I literally would kill myself. Like, this is sounding so...
So yeah, we slept on inflatable pool floats. Nothing bad happened to us.
But this is the time where I started kind of agreeing with her dad. I mean, something's not.
Something's not right. Yeah, but nothing bad. He took us out for breakfast. He wanted us to meet his son. We sat down in his living room, watched the Olympics with him.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
I love him.
wholesome. And it was good. Like nothing bad
so
happened. It all worked
interesting.
out. But as I was like thinking, as I was like telling people this story, I was like, this could have gone so badly.
And I think that's the problem. Like, you keep doing this crazy ass shit, and it just like
just getting away
happens
with it.
to work out. So you don't learn your fucking
I don't learn my lesson.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the shit that you put yourself in through is like, that could actually go very, very
No,
south. That's like
very
18
wrong.
different like kidnapped movies I've seen.
I'm the
But
star
we're
of
glad
all
you're
of
here
them.
today.
Yeah.
Hopefully the PT is gonna keep working.
Maybe, you know,
Yeah.
Mandy can help
Hopefully-
you out with like discerning. Hey, maybe let's not do this.
Maybe
My
we
voice
should
of
do that.
reason.
Yeah, maybe this isn't the best
Hopefully
idea.
the PT doesn't take you far enough to straight, but we'll see.
Literally.
Doesn't do the conversion stuff. Hasn't worked yet, so.
Well, we're so excited for everything that you guys are going to be.
It's such a crazy note to end on.
I just didn't
I
feel
love
like-
this. I feel like you've lived a life. You know what I mean?
No,
Literally.
you have like such like big lore.
Yeah.
No, we've been together almost 4 months now. I've learned so much. I'm like, what? The
Every day is a news story.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
so
and now
much
you get to
hidden
join
lore.
that adventure.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Now my life is gonna mellow out.
Well, before we finish this one up, we're like plug everything that you want, like your socials. Like, do you have anything
You want to be
like?
found?
You can find me on Instagram. I think all my accounts probably have the same thing at Elle.Pagotelis, but
Spell that?
Elle is spelled ELLE dot PAGOTELIS.
Oh, that's very like pretty. That's what I thought it was.
That's how you spell it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how it sounds.
No, everyone gets really intimidated by it, and then they're like, "Oh, that's."
I know. Like,
literally
there's
just
gonna be a
phonetic.
G in there somewhere. Like
There was.
There was a G.
Oh shit.
Right.
I was trying- okay.
Third letter.
Well, until next time, I'm Miguel.
Where can we find you?
Oh, I'm Miguel. You can find me on Instagram at MiguelXAntonio.
I'm Mandy. You can find me at Amanda Harrison.
I'm Barbie. You can find me at Created by Barbie. Please hire me. I am unemployed and broke. I need jobs only as, AC, second AC, DP.
Right.
Please don't hire me to be a PA. Please don't hire me to any of that shit.
Beggars cannot be choosers, dude.
But that's true. I would also like to be a PA at this point. The truth is, I was just telling my friends, like, damn, I think I need to be a PA again because you know what? Like, I just got fired again from a restaurant.
She's like, I'm on my third Mexican restaurant. Well, we're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Ellie, you're also like looking for work too, right?
Yeah, what do you
Yeah.
want? Tell the people what you want.
Genuinely anything. I just accepted a job at a barbecue restaurant, and I'm a vegetarian.
So-
If that tells
Oh,
you
wow.
anything.
That's so funny.
All right.
Yeah.
So send in
like a
what
bar
we
job.
need to apologize for and send us job offers.
That's your guys'
Yes.
homework for the next week.
Okay.
Thank
Please.
you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you then.
See ya.
The Lord Fire Squad podcast is hosted by Amanda Harrison, Miguel Antonio, and Barbie Chavez. Listen wherever podcasts are available. Our producer is Richard Cunningham. Our artwork and photography is by Axel Rivera. Special thanks to Lorena Latore, Jared Jameson, Georgia, and Lucas Marcondes for our updated theme song. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Lord Fire Squad Pod. Got any questions or a story? Email us at thelordfiresquadpodcast@gmail.com.